Hi, in today's video, I'm going to take you through the insertion sort algorithm. Let's see how it goes. The insertion sort algorithm sorts an array by inserting an element in a particular position in a sorted subset of the array. Now, let me give you a logical overview of how the insertion sort works. Here, we have an array with the elements 5, 7, 1, 20, and 3. And we want to use the insertion sort to sort this array out. What the insertion sort does, it takes a subset of the array and considers it to be sorted. So we'll take 5 and consider 5 to be sorted. And then we'll focus on the next element, which is 7. So the goal is to insert 7 in the proper position in the sorted subset. We can do this by shuffling the elements if we need to. In this case, no shuffling is necessary in order to sort 5 and 7 as they are already sorted. So we then have 5 and 7, 1, 20, and 3. Now, our element of focus is the 1, and our sorted subset is 5 and 7. In this case, we take out 1 and store it in a temporary variable. Now that we have stored 1, we can shuffle the array until we find the correct position of 1. We do this by checking each element before 1, starting from the 7, going backwards. In this case, 7 is larger than 1, so we shuffle 7 and insert it where the 1 was. And then we check the 5. The 5 is larger than the 1, we shuffle the 5, insert it where the 7 was. And now we have an empty space at the beginning of the array. We can take the 1 and insert it there as we are at the end of the array. So we take the 1, insert it there. And now we have an array that looks like so. 1, 5, 7, and then 20 and 3. Here, our element of focus is now 20. We want to insert the 20 in its correct position in the subset from 1 to 5. In this case, we can see that the 20 is already sorted, so there is no need to move it. We move on. 3 is now our element of concern. We want to insert 3 in the correct position in the sorted subset from 1 to 20. We can see that 20 is larger than 3, so we're going to shuffle 20. 20 will be moved one step forward. As we can see, 7 is also larger, so 7 will be moved one step forward. 5 is also larger. 5 will be moved one step forward. Lastly, 1 is not larger than 3, so in this case, we are not going to move 1, but it means we've identified the index where we want to insert our 3. Now we take 3, which was stored in temp, and insert it at index 1. That was a logical overview of how the insertion sort works. Now I'll show you the pseudocode for the insertion sort. This is the pseudocode for the insertion sort algorithm. Now I'll give you a demonstration of how to implement the insertion sort using Python. On the left, I have a blank Python file, and on the right, I have my pseudocode. For the outer loop, I'm going to use a for loop, which means I do not need to increment n manually. And for the inner loop, I'm going to use a while loop, which means we're going to be incrementing j manually. The first thing, I'm going to write a function and call it insertion sort. Our function is going to take in an array, and then we have a for loop. We want to set j to n, and then we have temp. Now we have the inner loop. And then we want to decrement j. This does it for the helper function, which will sort our array. Now let's create a helper function to print out the array on a single line. Now let's write the code to test our insertion sort algorithm. Let's create a random array. Now let's print it out. Let's sort the array and print out the sorted array. Let's run this code in our terminal. Here, we can see that our insertion sort algorithm is working as expected. That does it for the insertion sort implemented in Python. Thank you for watching.